Join us now with the big picture view of the most important business issues at play. Dan Clifton from Strategas Research Partners. You got the best shop on the street, Dan, and you were on Squawk Box when we found out the mission of our show tonight and what we were going to try to do. And I asked you then, I said, you're the guy that we need to spearhead the whole thing, and that is the business implications of this election for our viewers. Today was interesting. Ended up 300 points. Didn't look like that was going to hold up today because of Black Tuesday. Why do we call it black? It should be Red Tuesday in crypto. I mean, it's ugly, but Bitcoin got down at 17 and change. I thought it was going to take the market down. What I'm getting to, Dan, though, is that you add Friday, Monday, and Tuesday together, and we got about 1,400 Dow points. How much of that is the market either sniffing out gridlock, or is it possible that there's some relief that we won't have likely any of the Biden administration policies for the next 2 years? Much less likely. Is the market sniffing that out in your view?
Absolutely, Joe. Midterm elections tend to really hurt the S&P 500. As you get closer to the election, historically, you've rallied into the midterm election. And over the next 6 months, you're positive every single time since 1950. Now, there are two examples where that isn't the case, 1974 and 1978. Those are times where you had high inflation. And I think today's crypto news shows you there's other factors other than politics that affect the equity market. And so it's part of it. Number one, just the uncertainty of the election is going away. And number two is that the market is generally like gridlock. Get about a 13% annual return with a Republican House and Democratic Senate, or a Republican House and Republican Senate accompanied by a Democratic president. So you have all these kind of historical tailwinds. But the real tale of the tape today, Joe, was what's going on inside the sectors. The rally in biotech and pharmaceuticals, the rally in financials, the rally in defense. That is telling you the market thinks that the Republicans are going to, at the very least, win the House and have a pretty good shot of winning the Senate. And our election portfolios end at the close of today at about an 80% probability of a Republican sweep. So that's where the market is. That could obviously change as the results come in. But there's obviously a thinking that the Republicans are going to win probably 52 Senate seats and have control of the House when the votes are finally tallied.
We could go so many places. I'm producing tomorrow's show already, thinking about now we call them SBF because we don't need to say who we're talking about.
Sam Bankman-Fried.
CZ at Binance. We're going to have Scott Minerd on, as Andrew said, Dan. He said the Fed's going to keep raising until they break something. Would crypto count as breaking something?
Well, I don't know. They would like to see something systemic if they're ever going to stop.
There's a lot of crypto out there.
I'm not sure crypto is there, but it could be.
There's billions and billions and I'm just wondering. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but we don't know where things come from. Okay, so you made the case.
Absolutely, but Joe, I think you're bringing up a good point, is that you're going to have more Republicans there. They're going to want to get inflation out of the system. I think come Wednesday morning, tomorrow morning, the Democrats are going to be less inclined to support Jay Powell on the inflation story, particularly if they're worried that something is going to break. So the free lunch for Jay Powell ends tonight, and he's going to be under a lot more political pressure once this election ends.
Dan, it ended already, it feels like. It feels like that whole kind of free pass and everybody being on board with that. You've heard a lot more voices just over the last 2 weeks that's already amped up. Does that mean you think he'll bend to the pressure or no?
Well, I don't know. He's pretty insistent that he's going to keep raising rates. He's going to keep raising rates till inflation comes out of the system. If you're a central banker, you do not want to be the person who created inflation. And I think he's going to remain very steadfast in doing this. And that's why you see people like Scott talking about this idea that something is good, that the Fed will keep raising until something breaks. They're usually a little bit late in how they do it. But inflation, you can't have 8% inflation and 3.7% unemployment. The balance of those risks are skewed, and the Fed is going to fight inflation. And I think the Republicans, if they take over tonight, are going to back up the Fed chairman to get inflation out of the system.
Well, I don't take these rap cues well, and I'm already getting them, and it's like that's not what happens in the morning. I'm just going to finish by saying, Dan, what you described, the sectors that are moving, Republicans aren't going to be able to do anything. They're not They're not going to get through filibuster, much less veto-proof things. So it's really just things they're going to prevent from being done that are causing these things.
if we got to go that, I understand. But that's true, Joe. But
right. Okay.
They have a budget process, and they will negotiate with the president on the southern border and on energy permitting reform. So there is a chance to get some things done. It won't be easy.
There could be a lot of executive orders, too.
Hey, Dan, I got a question, which is if you believe that ultimately they need to break the back of inflation, but they're willing to break things along the way, what happens if they actually do break something, which is to say, if we ever get into a situation where we need a bailout again, or if we need to have a conversation about that?
Well, you're the expert on it with all your great work during the global financial crisis in 2008. And again, in 2020, the Fed never wanted to cut until they were forced to cut when the pandemic happened. So they may be forced into it. But listen to the Fed chairman. We take him at his word. I will get the inflation out of the system. And if we have to have a recession to do it, we'll do it. That's what the Fed chairman is saying. That's why we take that very seriously. And that's why there's going to be a lot of political pressure on him, particularly if it's the unemployment rate that starts going up that creates that problem.
All right. This is not